And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Broncos in this one. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one? Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Fields. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now, this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. The Broncos at 5-7 now on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's airing it out for Williams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jordan Willis with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Off play action, Fields. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side, a little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Back to Taylor on first down. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 19. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. They'll run here with Taylor. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal. And oh, deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Here's Fields. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down. Fields. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Fields. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line. To the air again, Fields. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. On the draw, this is Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. Here's Fields. And the pass complete to Waller on the out route. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Fields. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. T. Higgins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are an extra point away from drawing level. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Fields on 3rd down. Quick slant to Shakir. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. To throw is Fields. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Darren Waller, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers have taken the lead. CD, for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment and you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and inches.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Micah Parsons, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. Now the point after try for Santos. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A throw over the middle taken in, and he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 23 yards. 1st down, Broncos.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And the Bucs will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
2nd down
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Fields. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll swing this out to Fournette. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down, Fields. He'll find Fournette again here. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Out of bounds at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields on the move to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the 3rd quarter. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43.
First down, Denver.
They'll look to throw. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And this one is incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's caught. It's 2-2 Atwell. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. A good pickup there, a 22.
22 yards. Let's go now. And the Broncos first down.
Back to throw again. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. 2-2 Atwell from 21 yards away. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Butker is on target. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
21. Broncos 14. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Intercepted by the Broncos. They'll take over.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
First and 10. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And they had just picked it off. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of the
So
play,
that one overturned.
The
They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw.
Touchdown, Broncos. Quez Watkins. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Butker is on target. And we are tied at 21. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Fields hit and the ball is loose. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the 3rd quarter, Those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Buccaneers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 33. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Denver's offense now set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense. Specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
On first down, it's Fields. Dumps it off to Fournette. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Second down and 3, ball on the 7.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Broncos' 7-yard line.
Now it's Fields. This is caught. Touchdown! T. Higgins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bucs have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Tampa. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll drop this down to Taylor, and he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
Touchdown, Broncos. Trey McBride. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
At the 24-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. Shakir hauls it in. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Off play action. Fields. This pass complete to Higgins. Taken down, but not before they cross midfield.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter. You and I both know. That's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, back to Fournette. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette with career touchdown number 70. And the Bucs answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. Santos with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Broncos 28.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos about set to go on offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at the 47.
Fournette, a first down carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the fourth quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. Oh, able to avoid him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Fields. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Trey McBride with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So now the Bucs down by 7. And time, a huge factor. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down.
Back to throw. Fields.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Fields going to hurry his guys to the line. Fields' throw complete here to Waller.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
All eyes on Fields. Has his man, it's Shakir.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understand where they are on the field?
Here's Fields. Looking on the out route, he finds Shakir. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. This is caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Santos now to add the PAT. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. That time a 6-play drive.
And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Good tight coverage there by C.J. Henderson.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead.
49, Broncos 42.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and the bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the